Is your parenting really helping your child, or could it secretly be holding them back? This is a difficult question, and for many parents, it can feel uncomfortable. Because as parents, we want to believe that everything we do is for our children's happiness and success. But what if some of the things we learned growing up, what if some of the advice we were given is no longer right for today's world? What worked 20 years ago doesn't always work in today's world. Artificial intelligence, automation, globalization, and rapid technological development have completely reshaped how children need to learn, grow, and prepare for the future. Yet, without realizing it, many loving and well-meaning parents are still using parenting methods from the past, and that can quietly, unintentionally, hold them back. But don't worry, this is not your fault. The world is simply changing faster than ever before. No generation in history has had to adapt this quickly. So today, I want to share something important. I will walk you through 5 outdated parenting habits that many parents still follow without realizing it. Small changes made consistently can completely transform your child's future. Let's begin. Outdated parenting habit number 1. Focusing only on correct answers. For generations, being a good student meant one thing: getting perfect scores, never making mistakes, always giving the correct answer. In school, children were rewarded for accuracy, speed, and memorization. Those who scored highest on exams were labeled as smart, and many parents believed that academic success automatically meant life success. But today, this idea is becoming dangerously outdated. Why? Because artificial intelligence is now far better at giving correct answers than humans. AI can solve math problems in seconds. It can write essays. It can analyze data faster than any human ever could. So if success is only about giving correct answers, machines will always win. What then is the role of human intelligence? Research from Stanford University and many other institutions shows that the most successful children in the long term are not the ones who avoid mistakes. They are the ones who embrace mistakes and learn from challenges. When children are taught that mistakes are bad, they become afraid of trying. They avoid difficult problems. They choose safe options. They fear failure, and slowly they lose their curiosity. They stop asking questions. They stop experimenting. They stop exploring. Over time, this fear-based learning damages their confidence and creativity. On the other hand, children who are encouraged to try, fail, and try again develop something incredibly powerful: a growth mindset. They believe they can improve. They believe effort matters. They believe challenges are opportunities, not threats. And this mindset is one of the strongest predictors of long-term success. What children truly need today is not the ability to memorize answers. They need the ability to think, analyze, question, and create. So how can parents help build this skill? It begins with language. Instead of saying, "You're so smart," try saying, "I love how hard you worked. I'm proud of how you didn't give up. Tell me how you thought about this." These simple changes shift the focus from natural talent to effort and thinking. When children hear praise for effort, they become more willing to challenge themselves. They become resilient. They become confident. Over time, they learn that their value does not come from perfection, but from persistence. Outdated parenting habit number 2. Believing good universities guarantee success. For decades, parents believed one powerful idea: get into a good university and your future is secure. And in the past, this advice often worked. A prestigious degree meant access to high-paying jobs, stable careers, and social respect. But today, that reality is rapidly changing. Many of the world's biggest companies, including Google, Apple, Amazon, Tesla, and Netflix, no longer require college degrees. They care far more about skills, creativity, and problem-solving ability than about formal education. Harvard research shows that the connection between academic degrees and lifetime income is steadily declining. In other words, a diploma alone no longer guarantees success. The modern economy rewards those who can Learn quickly. Adapt to change. Communicate clearly. Solve complex problems. Work creatively. Take initiative. These skills are rarely measured by exams. University is not useless, but it is a tool, not a destination. When parents make university the ultimate goal, children often develop a narrow definition of success. They chase grades. They fear failure. They feel constant pressure, and many lose their love of learning. Instead of asking, "Which school will you attend?" try asking, "What are your strengths? What do you enjoy learning? What problems do you want to solve?" This shifts the child's focus from status to purpose. When children discover what excites them, they naturally develop motivation. They become curious. They seek knowledge. They build real skills. And that creates limitless opportunities. Outdated parenting habit number 3. Making every decision for your child. Parents naturally want to protect their children. We don't want them to fail. We don't want them to suffer. We don't want them to regret their choices. So we guide them, we advise them, and sometimes we decide everything for them: which activities they join, which hobbies they pursue, which friends they spend time with, which path they follow. At first, this feels helpful, but over time, it can silently weaken a child's confidence. Stanford research shows that children who are given opportunities to make decisions from an early age develop significantly higher self-esteem, independence, and problem-solving skills. When children always follow instructions, they never learn to trust their own judgment. They become dependent. They fear responsibility. They hesitate to act. Instead of controlling, modern parenting requires guiding. This means giving children safe opportunities to choose. Small decisions at first: which shirt to wear, which book to read, which activity to try, and then gradually, bigger decisions. When parents ask, "Which do you prefer? Why do you think so?" children learn to think critically. They learn to evaluate options. They learn to take responsibility. And most importantly, they learn to believe in themselves. Outdated parenting habit number 4. Obeying rules without question. In traditional education systems, obedience was praised. Children were taught to follow instructions, respect authority, and avoid questioning rules. This made sense in stable, predictable societies. But today's world is neither stable nor predictable. Change is constant, and success now depends on critical thinking and adaptability. Harvard studies show that children raised in rigid, rule-based environments often struggle with stress, anxiety, and uncertainty. They look for instructions instead of solutions. They fear making independent choices. Modern society needs thinkers, not followers. Instead of just do what you're told, try. Your teacher said this, what do you think? This teaches children that their thoughts matter. They learn to analyze. They learn to question. They learn to form independent opinions. This builds leadership, and leadership is one of the most valuable skills. In the modern world, outdated parenting habit number 5. Believing endurance alone leads to success. Never quit, just endure. Work harder. These phrases shape generations. And while perseverance is important, blind endurance can be dangerous. Working harder in the wrong direction leads to burnout, frustration, and emotional exhaustion. Psychologist Angela Duckworth's research shows that successful individuals combine persistence with adaptability. They don't just push forward. They adjust strategies. They reflect. They improve. Instead of telling children, "Never quit, try." How can we make this better? How can we make this more enjoyable? What can we change to improve? This teaches flexibility, creativity, and emotional intelligence. Children learn that changing course is not failure. It is wisdom, the new parenting mindset. So what does modern parenting truly require? It requires a shift in mindset, from control guidance, from obedience thinking, from perfection progress, from endurance adaptability. Modern children need emotional intelligence, critical thinking, creativity, communication skills, self-awareness, confidence, resilience, and above all, they need parents who are willing to grow alongside them. Conclusion. There is no perfect parenting. Every parent makes mistakes, and that is okay. If you are trying your best, you are already a good parent. Every late night, every worry, every sacrifice, it all has meaning. What matters most is not perfection, but reflection. When parents grow, children grow even more. By learning, by adapting, by improving together, we prepare our children, not just for school, but for life. Subscribe for more tips on raising confident, resilient children. Thank you for watching.